Welcome to our comprehensive Sarbanes Oxley training for human resources. I'm Tom, and today we will be providing comprehensive understanding of SOX, its implications for the company, and specific HR responsibilities to ensure compliance with SOX regulations. The Sarbanes Oxley Act, officially known as the Public Company Accounting Reform and Investor Protection Act of 2002, is a federal law enacted by the United States Congress in response to corporate accounting scandals that shook investor confidence in the early 2000s, notably involving companies like Enron and WorldCom. These scandals revealed widespread accounting fraud, corporate misconduct, and inadequate oversight, which led to significant financial losses for investors and undermined trust in the integrity of financial markets. The primary purpose of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act is to restore investor confidence in the accuracy and reliability of corporate financial reporting and disclosures. It aims to achieve this by enhancing corporate governance, strengthening internal controls, increasing transparency, and holding corporate executives and boards of directors accountable for their actions. SOX seeks to prevent fraudulent financial reporting, protect investors from accounting fraud and manipulation, and promote ethical business practices. Corporate Responsibility for Financial Reports, Section 302. This section requires CEOs and CFOs of publicly traded companies to certify the accuracy and completeness of financial reports, affirming that they fairly present the company's financial condition and results of operations. Management Assessment of Internal Controls, Section 404. Section 404 mandates that management assess and report on the effectiveness of the company's internal control over financial reporting, ICFR. Companies must establish and maintain adequate internal control procedures to ensure the reliability of financial statements. Whistleblower Protection, Section 806. SOX provides protection for whistleblowers who report suspected violations of securities laws or regulations, fraud, or other forms of corporate misconduct. It prohibits retaliation against employees who disclose information about potential violations, encouraging transparency and accountability. Importance of accurate record keeping and disclosures. SOX emphasizes the importance of accurate record keeping and timely disclosures of material information to investors. It requires companies to maintain proper documentation of financial transactions, internal controls, and significant events that could affect the company's financial performance or reputation. Maintaining accurate employee records. HR departments play a critical role in maintaining accurate and complete employee records, which are essential for SOX compliance. This includes documentation related to hiring, compensation, benefits, performance evaluations, disciplinary actions, and termination. Accurate record keeping ensures transparency and accountability in financial reporting, as employee-related expenses and liabilities are significant components of a company's financial statements. Ensuring compliance with internal control procedures. SOX requires companies to establish and maintain effective internal control procedures to ensure the reliability of financial reporting. HR departments must adhere to internal controls related to payroll processing, expense reimbursement, timekeeping, and other HR functions. This involves implementing segregation of duties, authorization controls, and periodic reviews to prevent errors, fraud, or misstatements in financial reporting. Cooperation with auditors and investigations. HR departments may be involved in providing information and documentation to auditors and investigators during internal and external audits or investigations related to SOX compliance. This includes providing access to employee records, policies, procedures, and other relevant documentation. HR professionals must cooperate with auditors and investigators, facilitate the audit process, and address any findings or recommendations related to HR practices and controls. Establishing clear policies and procedures. To ensure SOX compliance, HR departments should establish clear policies governing employee-related processes and transactions. These policies should address areas such as hiring practices, compensation and benefits administration, performance management, disciplinary procedures, and termination processes. Policies should be communicated to employees and regularly reviewed and updated to reflect changes in laws, regulations, or business practices. By providing regular training for employees. HR departments should provide regular training for employees on SOX compliance and related policies and procedures. This may include training on ethical conduct, whistleblower protections, internal control requirements, and the importance of accurate record keeping. This training helps to raise awareness among employees about their responsibilities, rights, and obligations under SOX, and promotes a culture of compliance through the company. Implementing internal controls for HR processes. HR departments should implement internal controls to mitigate risks and ensure the integrity of HR processes and transactions. This may involve controls related to the segregation of duties, access controls, authorization procedures, reconciliation processes, and monitoring activities. Internal controls help to prevent errors, fraud, or misstatements in HR-related financial reporting and ensure compliance with SOX requirements, e.b., maintaining confidentiality and data security. HR departments must maintain confidentiality and data security when handling employee information and sensitive HR data. This includes protecting personal and confidential information such as employee records, salary information, performance evaluations, and medical records from unauthorized access or disclosure. Data security measures such as access controls, encryption, and cybersecurity protocols help to safeguard HR data and prevent data breaches or unauthorized disclosures that could compromise SOX compliance. HR departments play a crucial role in ensuring SOX compliance by maintaining accurate employee records, adhering to internal control procedures, handling complaints and whistleblowing, cooperating with auditors and investigators, establishing clear policies and procedures, providing regular training for employees, implementing internal controls for HR processes, and maintaining confidentiality and data security. Compliance with SOX requirements helps to mitigate risks, protect stakeholders, and promote transparency and accountability in financial reporting. Ensuring SOX compliance within the HR department is crucial for maintaining transparency, accountability, and legal adherence within an organization. Here are some strategies and best practices to ensure SOX compliance for HR. Establish clear policies and procedures. Develop comprehensive policies and procedures that align with SOX requirements and clearly outline HR responsibilities, processes, and controls related to financial reporting, record keeping, internal controls, and whistleblower protections. These policies must be communicated effectively to all employees and regularly reviewed and updated to reflect changes in regulations or business practices. Having clear guidelines helps to ensure consistent compliance practices throughout the company. Open. Maintain accurate employee records. Ensure that HR maintains accurate and complete employee records in compliance with SOX requirements. This includes documentation related to hiring, compensation, benefits, performance evaluations, disciplinary actions, and terminations. Implement controls and procedures to safeguard the integrity and confidentiality of employee data and ensure compliance with SOX requirements of record keeping. Accurate record keeping is essential for demonstrating compliance with financial reporting requirements. Open. Implement internal controls. Establish and maintain robust internal controls within HR processes to prevent errors, fraud, or misstatements in financial reporting. Internal controls may include segregation of duties, authorization procedures, documentation requirements, and regular monitoring or audits of HR transactions and activities. These internal controls should be designed to detect and mitigate risks associated with financial reporting and compliance. Provide training and awareness. Conduct regular training and awareness programs for HR staff and employees on SOX compliance and their roles, responsibilities, and obligations. Training topics may include ethical conduct, whistleblower protections, internal control procedures, and the importance of accurate record keeping. Promote a culture of compliance and ethics throughout the company by emphasizing the importance of SOX compliance in achieving Trivex's goals. Handle complaints and whistleblowing. Establish clear channels for employees to report concerns or complaints related to SOX compliance, such as unethical behavior, financial irregularities, or violations of internal controls. Implement procedures for handling complaints promptly, confidentially, and impartially, ensuring compliance with whistleblower protections under SOX. Investigate complaints thoroughly and take appropriate corrective actions to address any identified issues. Cooperate with auditors and investigations. Collaborate with internal and external auditors and investigators during audits or investigations related to SOX compliance. Provide timely and accurate information, documentation, and access to HR records, policies, and procedures. Cooperate fully with audit requests and inquiries. Any findings or recommendations should be addressed promptly, and corrective actions should be implemented as necessary to ensure compliance with SOX requirements. Maintain confidentiality and data security. Safeguard the confidentiality and security of employee information and sensitive HR data by implementing robust data protection measures, access controls, encryption, and cybersecurity protocols. Ensure compliance with privacy laws and regulations governing the collection, storage, and use of personal and confidential information. Regularly assess and mitigate risks to data security to prevent data breaches or unauthorized disclosures. Stay informed and updated. Stay abreast of changes in SOX regulations, guidance, and best practices through ongoing training, professional development, and participation in industry forums and associations. Monitor regulatory updates from relevant authorities and seek guidance from legal or compliance experts as needed to ensure compliance with evolving requirements. Conduct regular reviews and assessments. Conduct regular reviews and assessments of HR processes, controls, and documentation to identify areas for improvement and ensure compliance with SOX requirements. Reviews may include internal audits, self-assessments, or third-party evaluations to validate compliance efforts and identify opportunities for optimization and enhancement. Document compliance efforts. Document all compliance efforts, including policies, procedures, training records, audit findings, and corrective actions taken. Maintain thorough and accurate records of HR activities, transactions, and compliance efforts to demonstrate due diligence and evidence of compliance with SOX requirements. Documenting compliance efforts also facilitates audits, investigations, and regulatory reporting obligations. By implementing these strategies and best practices, HR departments can effectively ensure compliance with SOX regulations, mitigate risks, and contribute to the overall integrity and transparency of financial reporting across TreviX. Case Study 1. Failure to maintain accurate employee records. A multinational corporation operating in the financial services sector was subject to SOX regulations due to its status as a publicly traded company. The HR department was responsible for maintaining accurate employee records, including documentation related to compensation, benefits, and employment history. However, the HR department failed to maintain accurate and complete employee records, leading to discrepancies and inaccuracies in financial reporting. Several instances of non-compliance were identified. Incomplete documentation. HR failed to document changes in employee compensation and benefits accurately, resulting in discrepancies between actual expenses and reported financial data. Lack of internal controls. The HR department lacked adequate internal controls to verify the accuracy and completeness of employee records. There were no procedures in place for periodic reviews or audits of HR data to ensure compliance with SOX requirements. Data security breach. A security breach occurred, resulting in the unauthorized access and disclosure of employee information. Confidential HR data, including personal and financial information, was compromised, raising concerns about compliance with privacy regulations and SOX requirements. As a result of SOX non-compliance, the company faced severe consequences, including financial penalties, regulatory scrutiny, and damage to its reputation. The company was required to implement remedial measures to address compliance deficiencies, including Enhanced record-keeping practices. The HR department implemented enhanced record-keeping practices to ensure the accuracy and completeness of employee records. This included updating policies and procedures, providing training to HR staff, and implementing internal controls to prevent future compliance failures. Data security improvements. The company strengthened data security measures to prevent future breaches and protect sensitive HR data. This involved implementing encryption, access controls, and cybersecurity protocols to safeguard employee information and ensure compliance with privacy regulations. Regulatory oversight. The company faced increased regulatory oversight and scrutiny from regulatory authorities, including the Securities and Exchange Commission. The company was required to cooperate with investigations, provide documentation and evidence of remediation efforts, and demonstrate ongoing compliance with SOX requirements to avoid further penalties or sanctions. Case Study 2. Inadequate whistleblower protections and complaint handling. A publicly traded manufacturing company with operations in multiple countries was subject to SOX regulations. The HR department was responsible for handling employee complaints and ensuring compliance with whistleblower protections under SOX. However, the HR department failed to adequately address employee complaints and provide protections for whistleblowers. This led to allegations of SOX non-compliance. Several instances of non-compliance were identified. Lack of whistleblower protections. The company lacked clear policies and procedures for protecting whistleblowers and handling complaints related to financial misconduct or violations of SOX regulations. Employees who reported concerns or allegations of wrongdoing were not provided with adequate protections against retaliation or reprisal. Ineffective complaint handling. HR failed to handle employer complaints effectively, resulting in delays, inadequate investigations, and dismissive responses to legitimate concerns. Employees who raised issues were not provided with timely feedback or updates on the status of their complaints, undermining trust and confidence in the company's commitment to compliance and ethical conduct. Retaliation against whistleblowers. Several employees who reported concerns or allegations of financial misconduct experienced retaliation or adverse employment actions, including demotions, transfers, and termination. The company's failure to protect whistleblowers and prevent retaliation violated SOX whistleblower protections and undermined the effectiveness of its compliance program. As a result of SOX non-compliance, the company faced legal and reputational risks, including lawsuits, regulatory investigations, and damage to its brand and corporate image. To address compliance deficiencies and mitigate risks, the company implemented these remedial measures. Enhanced whistleblower protections. The company revised its policies and procedures to provide stronger protections for whistleblowers and prevent retaliation against employees who report concerns or allegations of financial misconduct. This included establishing confidential reporting channels, prohibiting retaliation, and providing training to employees on their rights and obligations under SOX. Improved complaint handling processes. HR implemented improved complaint handling processes to ensure timely and effective resolution of employee complaints. This included establishing clear escalation procedures, conducting thorough investigations, documenting findings, and communicating outcomes to employees in a transparent and respectful manner. Employee training and awareness. The company provided training and awareness programs to employees and managers on SOX compliance, whistleblower protections, and ethical conduct. This included educating employees about the importance of reporting concerns, encouraging open communication, and fostering a culture of integrity, transparency, and accountability through the company. By addressing these compliance deficiencies and implementing remedial measures, the company aimed to enhance its SOX compliance program, protect whistleblowers, and promote a culture of ethical conduct and accountability within the organization.